Okay, scrappers, time for a new scrap time trial. This time we're going to be doing 10 nice chunky server towers, and yeah, well, basically they should be all pretty much complete. The only thing I've done is tested out all the power supply units. So any power supply units that weren't working, I've taken them out, only a couple. The rest are all working, so I can resell them. So let's get to it and start this time trial. And just like all my other time trials, I'll start off scrapping one out in real time. And just so the video doesn't go on too long, I'll keep the stop clock going. And when I get towards the end, maybe the last one, I'll come back on video. And we'll work out how long it took us to do 10 nice chunky server towers. Off. All right. Okay, it'll just take me a couple of servers until I get used to it, but I already got an idea of what I'm going to, be keeping for resale. So it's the power supply units. I'll keep these fans because they're pretty good, and the rest we'll just scrap out. So these are the power supply units that we want to keep. Have to take out the boxes here with extra long screwdriver because these towers are very deep, so that might slow me down a little bit. Just one hard drive. Because these cables are so long and they weave underneath, I've got to cut them in half so I can get them out. But this part of the power supply unit, just a caddy, it's a dual caddy, so I don't sell these. All I sell is the actual power supply unit inside, but I do scrap these out. Okay. So I probably just should do these freestyle scrap wise, but at least I just want to get out this little power supply thing. Otherwise it wouldn't be much of a scrap out. Quite a lot of cabling. And these 2 CPUs. Doesn't look like there's any RAM in these. The RAM's already been taken out. Most of the hard drives have been taken out. Okay. The only one that wouldn't come out is the one right in the middle. The screw got threaded. All right. So I'm going to have to basically break this motherboard out. So the first one's a bit awkward. That's half. Okay. Okay. Doesn't make much difference, but all right. Hopefully the next few won't be as awkward as that, but I'll just finish off these motherboards. Okay, so we've got a copper aluminium heatsink here. We've still got to take off the fan and all this kind of stuff. At the moment I'll just leave the CPUs in there so they don't get damaged until I finish scrapping the whole lot. Okay. On with the second. Yeah. These ones here, as I said, I've tested them out. You know, I should get, you know, around $30 or $40 each for these. So that's they're easy to sell for me. You know, as long as I test them out, I'm happy to sell them. And I'm pretty strict when I test them. If they don't, if they seem a little bit average, I'll just send them off to scrap, because it's not worth taking the risk to post out power supply units only to have them come back and then you lose postage and stuff. Okay. Might be able to get away with not having to actually cut the cables this time. I worked it out. If I took out that, it gives me space so I can take out the cable. Hard to see if there's any. Just got to remember there's 5 screws in that. Nice cable. Okay, so that's taken a little while, 13, almost 14 minutes now, but I'll keep going. And I'll come back when I'm a little bit closer. This one's a little bit different. This one only has 1 CPU in it. So, yeah, quite a bit different. Okay, well, I'll see you when I'm down to 9 left. Oh, 1 left. Well, this is the last one. So I've done 9. And yeah, it's been pretty good. Some of these are a little bit awkward, so even though they look like the same servers, they're actually all got different configurations and different motherboards, different setups. So it wasn't just straightforward. but I mean they're all similar, but just some had different screws and different mounts. But I've got there, and so we'll just finish off this last one and we'll see how we went. And a lot of these also you had to take off the heat sinks whilst they're in the PC because the motherboard was mounted into the case. So so a little bit tired now, and so I went a bit quicker in about server number 3, 4 and 5, and probably servers number 7 and 8 onwards started to slow down again, because I guess because I'm not a machine. Okay. Phew. All right. So I think I'm done now. And okie dokie, that's 10 servers scrapped out. To 50 minutes exactly, so 49 minutes and 48 seconds, so let's say 50 minutes for 10 servers. So that's pretty good. That's, what's that, our average of 5 minutes per server. So yeah, that's pretty good considering they were all a little bit different. But obviously keep in mind it's kind of like a it's just a freestyle scrapping, it's not complete scrap. So you know, things like we've still got to clean up the heat sinks and fans and clean up the wire and some of the power supply units that weren't working. But all right, let's have a look at what we ended up getting. Right, so there's our scrapped out 10 servers. I can use them to fill up some scrap metal inside. So I ended up getting a whole bunch of cables that I still need to clean up. Obviously there's mid and low grade, there's some power boards still stuck on there. I got a little slot card, some backplane boards. Obviously got the bunch of heat sinks that I need to clean up. I ended up getting 4 solid copper heat sinks, so really nice, these ones, get good value for them. Got one with a copper stacker inside it, and a bunch of these aluminium, copper aluminium. I sell these as copper aluminium radiators, and some straight aluminium. One PC did have 8 RAM sticks, so they're just the DRAM. Got one, only got one hard drive. Still got some larger power supply units. These ones actually weren't working, so I'm just going to scrap them out, cut the cords. I've got some good power supply units here, and these 7 at the back here, which are also good, that I can, as I said, I can probably get $30–40 each for them, as well as these, a little bit of a variation. So what I do is, yeah, I haven't sold on eBay for quite some time, for probably 4 or 5 months. So when I start, I might start in another month's time, and all my backlog of power supply units will go on. All my CPUs that I like to sell will go back on. So it'll be a while yet. The motherboards, obviously got 10 motherboards. 3 of the motherboards were just PC type motherboards. Now I haven't gone through the CPUs, haven't taken them out yet. So SLAWZ, so it's the Xeon 2.83 gigahertz 12 meg cache. So these ones might be okay to sell. We'll check them out. And the actual server boards, dual socket CPUs. So it looks like SLBTD or something, I can't really see it. But yeah, so I'll take out these and look them up and see if they're worth selling. If I get $20 each for them, I'll list them. You know, 15's the minimum. If they sell for anything less than $15 each here in Australia, then I don't bother listing them because they don't really sell. So I ended up getting 7 server motherboards and 3 PC type motherboards. Even though it would have been used as a server, I can only sell these as PC motherboards. Yeah, as I said, a bunch of power supply units. I also got a whole bunch of DVDs that I need to process, so there's still a little bit of work there. A little bit of work on the heat sinks there, and some of the scrap power supplies, and obviously some work still to do on the wiring. But 50 minutes for 10 server towers, so that wasn't too bad. Average of 5 minutes each, and I wasn't going flat out, and it was really good. So there you go, guys. Just something a little bit different. Hope you had a bit of fun, and keep scrapping, and I'll catch you next time.